Well, hello there. Welcome in. Welcome to Let's Talk Turkey. I am Dean the Turkey Legster, and I am going live tonight for a very special edition of the stream. Um, Honestly, I'm very pleased to be at this point. Um, hey, Russ, how are you? Happy Tuesday. Welcome in. I'm very pleased to be here, but I'm a little surprised, but I consider myself really blessed to have reached this point. Um, it is been 3 years now since I started this channel and I began doing YouTube uh, things. And I have I've practiced doing so many. I think I've done pretty much all the formats that everyone can do. Um, Not to perfection, of course. Hey, Jonathan, welcome in. Welcome in. Yes, 3 years. Um, 3 years of just of YouTube. And I'm gonna kind of go back and kind of revisit, recount really quickly my creative journey, which actually didn't start with YouTube, and I'll talk about that in a minute. But actually, maybe I should just go ahead and um, talk about that now. So anyway, before I start, if you are watching this on the replay, bop the like button. Actually, anyone, if you wouldn't mind bopping the like button, it's down there somewhere. Um, I'd appreciate it. If you are watching this on the replay, let me know in the comments. Um, so, just in a nutshell, I started doing content creation back in 2019 on a podcast that I call The Dean Report. I no longer am doing that podcast, but you can find it. It's on several of the platforms. I know it's on Spotify and Google Podcasts. It's on Google Podcasts. Um, I do have a link to it on my link tree. Um, Let me just make sure. I think I just added it. Yeah, I updated my link tree page um, during the past week. It's got all my contacting, my social medias that I'm on. I'm most active on Instagram, by the way. I'm kind of active on Facebook, although not as Dean the Turkey Legster. I do have that page on Facebook. I'm more active though on um, my personal Facebook, but I'm gonna try to be more active on Dean the Turkey Legster in the near future. So, Cargo, welcome in. Welcome to Turkey Tube. Welcome in. Hope you're doing all right. Um, um, so anyway, the link tree's there. I think it's in the bio of the video. Um, if you follow me on Instagram, it's in my Instagram bio also. Um, so 2019, I was looking for some kind of a creative outlet. I was looking first. It originated actually as I had stories. I still have a bunch of stories in my mind, like fiction, fantasy, um, type genre of stories that I wanted to kind of explore. At the time, I had right at the forefront of my mind, I wanted to sort of become a writer and kind of tell stories. And I won't go into any details, but basically, one concept that I had was to kind of explore the backstory of um, the White Witch in the Chronicles of Narnia. And so we've got clues to kind of piece together, a skeletal idea there within C.S. Lewis's Narnia stories. So we have enough to sort of base it on, but there was still plenty of room to sort of create a backstory and a life and, tell the story, from the witch's perspective, how she gets from where she is in The Magician's Nephew. If you know the Chronicles of Narnia, she goes from there into where we meet her in The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe as the White Witch, who has created this perpetual nasty winter. Um, so anyway, I was dreaming up a whole story about her, and I had this idea of I sort of created a sister, and that would be a whole other stream to explain how I get a sister out of the White Witch. But anyway, that among several stories that I wanted to tell. Um, and I was thinking around the time that I started the podcast, well, I don't know if I really want to write them down, but maybe I can record them, record these ideas, and sort of talk through the concepts. Noah, welcome in. Just Noah, welcome in. Great to see you. Um, so anyway, the first episode that I did of the Dean Report actually was talking about the stories. Somewhere between that episode and doing the next episode, I decided to branch out into other topics. I decided I didn't really want to go into my stories and talk about them really a lot. And so it became a podcast where I just talked about anything. So the official description of the podcast became, anything, basically, I forget what it is exactly. Anything goes, A to Z grab bag of topics. Um, so I did it was roughly on a weekly basis for a couple of years. And then during that time, actually, in March of 2019, was when I was finding the YouTube Disney live streaming community and sort of being exposed to YouTube in, that world. And at first, it was just a great way to sort of see Disney without having to spend the money to go. Of course, I wanted to, save up and go to Disney, but at the time I was following Resort TV One. In 2019, I found Resort TV One first. As far as the live streamers go, I then found Corey Meets World, Dole Whip Dad, were the first three, and in that order. And from there, it just spun off. And going in these all the chats. Of course, you see every people in there chatting and friends, other channels you get introduced to. And so I started just finding everyone in the community, everyone, all the main, people that you might be thinking of. Um, so during that time also, and I have to credit Dole Whip Dad Jeff, Jeff Bates is his actual name. He had a weekly live stream called Creator Talk where he talked about YouTube creation and doing YouTube. And I would tune in for that every Sunday. And he did it for quite a while, along with you may be recognize Lynn from the Lynn Project. She had a channel at the time and was a creator, and so she did that weekly chat with Jeff. And and I have to say, watching that stream, watching, learning those tools got me really interested, and I wanted to go from podcasting to YouTube, doing a regular live stream. As a stepping stone to that, in early 2021, I started doing a weekly Instagram live, and I, created a little thumbnail graphic, and I would post and I'd advertise it. I had a set time. I called it. I forget what I called it. I think it was just the Turkey Legster live, but it was a time that I would go live and people could plan on coming in and I would chat like I'm doing here, but I would do it on Instagram because it was easier. I was already on Instagram as just the platform. I would set my camera, I set my phone up on a tripod, and I would chat. Um, so that went on a little while. Finally, I decided, okay, I'm gonna try this out. I had become familiar with the idea of StreamYard here, and so I started testing out StreamYard. I had a couple of test streams, and I gotta tell you, my first test stream, and this is why we do test streams as creators, to test things and figure things out. The one thing I did not figure out early on was having these guys that I have in with the wrenches, moderators. Um, I did not have any moderators on my very first test stream. So I went live, and this would have been early May. Might have even actually, I was looking at my streams, and I think I actually did my test streams during April of 2021, but I didn't like officially start. I didn't have like a show named show. It was just a test stream. So the official start to the channel was not till May. But April, I was starting to do things on the channel just at a testing basis. So anyway, I was doing the test stream, and exactly, Russ. Um, I got people who Russ is joking, by the way, but I got actual trolls, bots, whatever you want to call them. Let me turn this down. Okay. Anyway, and I don't mean just one or two. I started with one or two, and then I just started getting like dozens. I must have had a couple dozen people in that chat. Now I had Dawn from the Hitchhiking Bones, Tina McNeil. I don't, they're not in here right now, but they will attest to seeing all these jokers coming in saying things that at first they weren't necessarily like rude or anything, but they were spammy. They were definitely spamming the chat on my test stream. And I didn't figure it out right away. It took me a moment before, some of the comments actually started getting a little nasty. And that's when I decided, okay, I'm going to just go ahead and end this. At first I was like going through and removing them out of the chat, deleting them. Um, and that's when I decided I just needed to end the stream. Right after that, so I figured out how to use StreamYard, but on the channel side, um, both Tina and Dawn, I think one or the other or both messaged, we communicated and said, okay, you really need to set some mods. And so I set both of them initially as two mods, and I was going to leave it at that just to start. Soon after that, I did another test stream really soon after that. By the way, this first test stream I deleted. It's not on the channel. But the next test stream, which is on the channel, um, I was looking at other features and everything. And Mike Wheeler, our good friend Mikey, he was in the chat first, and then I sent him the StreamYard link. He came on and helped me uh, while I was testing. We chatted. It was good practice. I had him on because I was testing out bringing someone on, sending the link out to have a guest on. And so he did that. Soon after that, I decided, okay, Mike, it might have, I don't know if it was during the stream or not, but right after that, I decided to add Mike Wheeler. And then, of course, there was the no-brainer ad. There's just some people in the community that just need to be added that, they're going to great support for the channel, keeping the chat awesome, gobbletastic, clean, friendly, all that. I rounded out my original Gobble Squad with 4 people. I had Tina McNeil, Dawn of the Hitchhiking Bones, Mike Wheeler, and then for the 4th one, I added none other than Stacy Rogers. Everyone knows Stacy Rogers. I've not met Stacy Rogers except for in the chat, and I hope to meet her in person someday. But everyone knows Stacy Rogers. I know she's been on a handful of streams, not often. I hopefully I can procure her presence on a stream someday. Stacy, if you happen to watch this, maybe we can chat sometime. Message about this. Stacy is a moderator for probably like 100 channels, and I'm not sure that's an exaggeration. Mike Wheeler's, I think Tina McNeil's a moderator on a lot of channels. Of course, her slogan she always tells people is watching, always watching. So anyway, I went the longest time with those 4 as my moderators. Then the time came, I was growing. I hit 100 subscribers. I hit 1 year. I forget what order. I didn't go through and I haven't kept track of, you know, the order of things, but I hit a year, I hit 100. I've done celebration live streams at each of the hundreds and the years because I think it's important to acknowledge those milestones. So I was having growth, and I felt like if eventually, okay, I've got 4 great moderators, but I'm growing, so I need to reach out to someone. I made a list, and I eventually I added this gentleman, Noah, Diz Noah. Of course, at the time he was Diz Noah's Adventure. He's recently tweaked his name. Same great guy. Um, He's got a channel, by the way. Mike Wheeler's got a channel. Hitchhiking Bones, a great channel of my out of my moderators. Um, so I brought Noah in as my fifth moderator, fifth member of the Gobble Squad. We're expanding the squad, and then I kept that is you. Um, so yeah, and so yeah, I felt it was time, and I added another moderator. And of course, it had to be my criteria is someone that's in my chats regularly, not all the time, because we're a growing community and everyone watches, trying to watch everybody, but everyone's live, everyone's doing stuff, and I understand. Um, but Noah, I noticed that Noah was in my chats a lot, and I knew that Noah has been is a moderator on several channels. Um, a lot of channels. I don't know. Noah, how many channels do you moderate for? A great question to ask. Jonathan Chong, I know you're a moderator on a lot of channels, but I haven't got to you yet, Jonathan. So right now we're at Noah, and I went a while. Um, I then I started streaming from the Disney parks. And one of our friends in the community that I think we all know and love is Cynthia. We know her as Candy Mom 15 in the chats. Well, she was coming into my chats a lot when I was going in the Disney parks, which of course was not in the evenings like now, on the East Coast. Um, but she would pop into the streams, it was during the day, afternoons, time frame, and she would pop into the chat. And I had, no, I think I had met her one. I'm not sure if I had met her once, but we chatted, of course. I was, getting to know more people in the community, of course. So I added Cynthia as number 6. I promise I can count. Number 6 member of the Gobble Squad. That was a really wise move. Um, and so time kept going, progressing, you know. Um, and so, and then that is true, Russ. I have gotten to meet Cynthia, um, way short visits, briefly in Epcot, briefly in Magic Kingdom. I tried to meet with her. Uh, she was came down to Disney. It was maybe a month ago or so, and I tried to work out going to meet up with her, but it just didn't. It just didn't work out. Okay, Noah, just Noah is moderator for 128 channels. I'd have to count up how many channels I'm actually a moderator for. I might be up to 10. Sure. Cargo, yes, Cargo's coming. I hope to be able to meet up with you. Um, I'm going to try to make that happen. We'll have to chat, Cargo, about that. I do have a health update to do at the end of the stream here in a little bit. So time went on, and I felt like, okay, I'm growing. I'm growing more. I'm growing more. I needed to add another moderator. So I reached out to Mr. Jonathan Chong here, who's only at 36 or 37, but he's a great supporter of the community. Um, I know you've been on a stream here or there. I know with Space Mountain Dave a few times, but you're in chats all the time, Jonathan. A great friend, a great supporter of the channels. You understand. You post lyrics on songs, which is awesome. Like for Happily Ever After, um, for example, and it's it was a no-brainer. And Jonathan, you come into my chats a lot, and that's why I added you. And as I grow, I'm going to continue to look for these friends that or would be willing to come on board. I know I've offered it to Russ. He hasn't really wanted to, and that's fine. But he's I'm honored to actually be one of Russ's moderators. If you see me in a Russ stream, you'll notice I'm looking pretty dapper there, and with a blue wrench. So, but anyway, the friendship is more important though, and but oh, for yeah, I mean, like how many channels you moderate for, is what I was asking. So it's in the 10 to 30 range. I'm probably closer to maybe 10. And by the way, howdy and welcome, Hitchhiking Bones, Don, welcome in. And so more recently, like within a month's time, I actually added, and I know she's probably not going to be in the live chat. She might be on the replay, but I recently just added my eighth. By the way, Jonathan Chong was my seventh um, Gobble Squad moderator. Um, and then just recently, I felt like it was time to add um, another moderator. And so I reached out to the one and only Jennifer Caruso, who was more than happy to come on board as another Gobble Squad moderator. Um, Now she's great about supporting the channel and everything, and she has a channel. She's got a great, incredible channel who has been, and she's been enjoying a lot of success on her channel the last several months. And she's only been, she's just a great rock star person, YouTuber. She loves to dance. If you watch her streams, there's gonna be music, there's gonna be dancing, um, singing. She was streaming from Disney Springs today at the pub place, the Irish pub. Was it Rose and Crown? No, not Rose and Crown. Um, Anyway, they do the jig Irish jig stuff. She was watching that. There's music, there's dancing. She's wonderful. I've gotten to meet her. Um, there's Mike. Raglan Road. Yes, Raglan Road. Dave Stragan, welcome in. Dave, actually, I just realized recently you have a channel also, and I need to check her. I need to check you out, Dave, on your channel. I'm gonna try to do that in the near future. But welcome in. I welcome in Mike. Um, so anyway, so yeah, so Jennifer makes my eighth um, moderator, Gobble Squad member, and then of course, you know, um, with growth, with growth. I will add more, but I'm good for now. The thing is, I wasn't consistently streaming. I wasn't doing streams like this, regularly since the holidays. Since early January. I did some sporadically. I did a lot of Disney park streams. Got a lot of experience in on holding the gimbal and walking around the parks. Thank you, yes, and congratulations, Mike says to Dean on 3 years. Woohoo! I've gotten to Mike. Sorry, I've gotten to meet Mike and meet up with him and Russ um, at Disney, and lots of fun, lots of fun. Um, and so anyway, yeah, I am. About a month or so ago, I'm bringing this stream back, and I'm at 3 years. I hit 500 subscribers about a month or so ago. This past weekend, I'm not sure I should really talk about it, but there was a glitch. YouTube had a glitch. Shocker. Um, I looked at my YouTube studio on Saturday. I was at 530 subscribers. Sunday, I looked at YouTube studio again, not because for the sub count, but for something else. And I noticed I was at 603 subscribers on the YouTube studio. So I looked at the views on all my videos. Nothing had gone viral or anything. I had a couple of recent shorts that's got a few hundred, 300 or 400 views, but nothing really explained a huge bump in subscribers like that. And so I was really feeling like it was a glitch. Obviously, if it was real, I of course be over the moon about it. Um, so I decided to wait. Well, from Sunday morning until now, I just checked it a little bit ago. YouTube has kind of corrected the glitch, and I'm in the 530s. I'm like at 538 subscribers now. So I'm gonna continue to grow. I'll get real subscribers. You know, it was kind of fun to see that on the YouTube studio, and I know it'll be real someday. But yeah, I actually that happened the same thing. Russ and Mike are right. I hit 500 twice because I hit 500. I went over by some, then it brought me down into the 490s. Then I went back up again. But I'm steadily growing, and um, yeah, it was a purge. It was a purge. Um, so Dave says, yeah, studio has been glitchy lately. Seen view counts go up and down like an elevator. Yes, and that's what happened with my sub count, and I don't know. Let me check it again. It's really probably unnecessary while I'm live, but I'm just really curious. I'm still at 538 now on here. So, I mean, maybe I did get 8 more subscribers. So, if you're one of my 8 new subscribers, if you're one of my subscribers more recently, welcome. If you're watching this, welcome to the channel. Anyway, that was just a side note. I'm growing. I'll keep getting more. When I get to 600 subscribers for real, I will have a celebration stream. I do promise. So let's see here. Cargo likes to sing it out. Let's see. Russ said he'll consider subscribing. I would love if you would consider subscribing, Russ. My content may not be what your cup of tea, but if you watch some of my content and you decide, I'm worth it, it's totally free, and you can unsubscribe at any time. Although I would appreciate if you didn't. But if you really don't like my content, you know, there's no law keeping you here. But I definitely appreciate that. Do 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 do. So anyway, that's kind of where I'm at. I've grown. Um, those are my mods. So as I said before, I did my podcast, The Dean Report, starting in 2019. Then when I finally came to YouTube, by the way, I had a little chapter in my you all may remember um, that there was a short period of time, like 2 or 3 months, where I called myself. I decided I don't know what was wrong, but I decided that I didn't want to be the Turkey Legster. Or I thought that I would change my name. So for a little while, I was Dean Follow the Happy. And I won't go into the backstory on where Follow the Happy came from, but it was a nice phrase that came about on one of the Hitchhiking Bones streams in Disney. And it was, that phrase. I decided that's a really neat phrase. I think I should do that. People may not like the Turkey Legster. So I confused everyone for a couple of months. And, I know that I was getting known as the Turkey Legster, and people were getting to know me in chats. And so I changed my name to Follow the Happy for a little while. During that time is when I decided to go from having my regular Instagram lives to uh, doing YouTube. And so that's when I made um, the switch. And so for a while, if you go back on my channel, you will see Follow the Happy Live, which is what I called my weekly stream, my regular stream. So I had Follow the Happy Live at the beginning. Um, Pretty soon after that, I started doing a stream idea, which has come and gone in different phases. But a week, a regular stream that I called News Flash Disney, where I came on and I talked about Disney news. It was all Disney news, and I would talk about the major headlines coming out of Disney World, the Disney company. Um, and so I kind of stopped and restarted that a few times over the few years. Right now, it's not currently coming or going. I'm not doing it currently. Um, Follow the Happy Live changed to once I came back to being the Turkey Legster. Um, I changed my show name to Gobbletastically Yours, and it was like this. It was a chat. It was a chat. It was the same. It was just change of the names. After a little bit, Gobbletastically Yours became I'm Feeling Streamish. So that went for a while. Around the same time I did I'm Feeling Streamish, I launched Once Upon a Turkey Leg, which is currently on pause, by the way. If you're wondering why I'm not reading stories on streams right now, it's because of some of my health things that I'm dealing with. I'm just doing the one stream a week right now, and I'll bring Once Upon a Turkey Leg back. But that's the where I would come on. I would read stories. I have this in here because I was going to actually do a Star Wars story stream um, over the weekend for May the 4th. And I was just not feeling it, so I didn't do it. Um, so anyway, Once Upon a Turkey Leg started then. I did a couple of pre-recorded um, episodes of that, and then it went to live, and I completely enjoyed that. And um, to play off of that, when May came around, the last previous 2 years to now, I did a series in May where I read all the little golden books of a lot of the Star Wars stories. And so the first year, um, this series, it was basically Once Upon a Turkey Leg, but I renamed it temporarily to May the Month Be With You. The first year, that was in 2020, it would have been 2022. And then in 2023, I called it May the Turkey Legs Be With You. Um, so towards the end of, so in fall of 2022, I also changed my regular stream's name to the Big Gobble. And it was while I was doing the Big Gobble, I did a special edition of the Big Gobble live. My first Disney Parks live stream was at Hollywood Studios on October the 11th of 2022. Monorail Molly, hello. Welcome, welcome in. Great to see you. Great to have you. um, and so then not long after that um I was live at Animal Kingdom. Then I went to Epcot, and I've done all the parks several times. I still have not streamed from Disney Springs. I'm hoping to do that maybe later this week, actually, maybe next week, maybe the week after, maybe in the next few weeks, go down there and do some streaming because I still have not done anything from Disney, any YouTube live streams from Disney Springs. Um, so I also, um, during 2023, I started a weekly stream, and I was trying to do 2 weekly streams at it, or no, I was trying to do 3 weekly streams. Pete McDevitt, hello, Pete McDevitt, welcome in. Um, Speaking of Hollywood Studios, I actually, um, Pete is one of the YouTube friends, one of several YouTube friends I have gotten to meet um, in and Disney. Of course, there's so many other people that I would like to meet in person. Someday, bunch of people: Monorail Molly, Noah, So Cargo, Jonathan Chong, um, everyone. If you, I have not met you. If you hear me saying this, I've not met you. I want to meet you. If I've met you, I want to see you again. But I started a weekly stream called Drumsticks After Dark. And so that was I tried to keep that going. I love that name as a stream. It was kind of a later night stream though. And I went from, I was trying to do that along with the Big Gobble. Um, and so eventually I decided, okay, I really like Drumsticks After Dark as a show name rather than the Big Gobble. So I stopped the Big Gobble. And then Drumsticks After Dark was my stream along with Once Upon a Turkey Leg. Um, so um, you know, I felt like I needed to rename Drumsticks After Dark. I had this phrase, "Let's talk turkey," um, because, "Let's talk turkey" is a phrase. It's basically means let's talk open and honest about things, and that's the about Disney news. Talk about or on spinning wheel. Did I go blank for anyone else? Anyway, I came back. Um, anyway, I let me check something. Oh, that is okay. Am I back? Am I back? I think I'm back. Am I looking okay? Okay. Um, so I my internet's doing something really weird. Um, I'm back. Okay. So I'm probably on a ticking time bomb with my internet. I'm not sure what's going on. Um, thank you, Cargo. I look fantabulous now. I know. This is my best side. Pretty much all my sides are the best side. Um, let's see, Pete, I know you said yes, I enjoy it was awesome to meet you, Pete. The day I met you, Pete, I wasn't actually aware really that I was going to have that opportunity. So it was the great surprise. Anytime I've gotten to meet anyone new, and from the YouTube community, it's just amazing. Nathan, welcome in. Hi, welcome in. Happy Tuesday. Um, no, Mike, this is not going to be about butterball recipes. So it's just basically, let's talk turkey where I am now that I've had, um, is just me talking about what I have on my mind. And, and as I've said, when I brought this show back, not too long ago, on a regular basis, I've said I'm committed to going live at 9 o'clock each Tuesday, regardless of, if I don't go live, I'm either dead or I'm in the hospital dying, um, or there's something really serious going on. Um, if or I'm really sick. So my commitment is to go live every Tuesday night. If I have literally nothing to talk about, which is not likely because there's literally a whole world of stuff that I can talk about, even if it's not Disney, um, I'm going to go live. Um, if I'm not feeling it that Tuesday, maybe I just go live for 10 or 15 minutes. but I'm going to go live at 9 Eastern time right here. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and like wrap up the stream. While I wrap up, I do wanna say that I announced a few weeks ago that I am dealing with some health things. Um, I was um, recently found out that I have a type of thyroid cancer. It's the papillary thyroid cancer. It is, from what I've learned, is that yes, it's a cancer. It's very it's very crucial that I get it dealt with. But I've learned that the papillary thyroid uh, cancer, of all the cancers, it's the best one to have, basically. But I am looking. I've been had a couple of appointments this week, today and yesterday. I met with a couple different um, different doctors, and looking at the treatment plan for that. And I'm going to make a final decision um, in the next few weeks. But I do have a surgery scheduled for early June, um, June 6th. So, I'm becoming more okay with the fact that I need to go have surgery. When I first, when I first, and this is a recent diagnosis, I had nodules, thyroid nodules that I had been discovered in a ultrasound back in December, and then I finally got around to the biopsy and this diagnosis very recently, and of course we're jumping on the treatment plan, which is likely going to be um, the a thyroidectomy to some degree. They might be able to get away with part of the thyroid. They might be able to get away with, or they might have to just take out the whole thing. Um, I do have a CT scan in the morning to for them to find out how much where it actually is, if it's come down to the lymph nodes, which that thyroid cancer can do. Thank you to all the prayers for all the prayers. I appreciate it. Um, one of the so when I was kind of joking before about missing not being live on a Tuesday, I do have my live streams set um, up to that Tuesday. The date of the surgery is on a Thursday, and so that Tuesday I will be planning to be live that evening. I'm probably gonna retitle and kind of maybe do a different subject of talk on that stream, but then I'm gonna see how my recovery goes before I plan any more streams. So it may be a few weeks, a couple of weeks, 2 or 3 weeks. I'm not sure. In June, I may just take June off. Um, you know, just to kind of get back on my feet as far as that goes. But when I'm looking at doing a series, and I'll talk about that on the next week. I will talk about that towards the end of the stream. So with that, thank you everybody for coming. That is going to wrap it up for tonight. Next week, I will be showing off more of my Star Wars trinkets. I showed this off last week. I've got more Star Wars um, items that I have to show off to you. These are some items that I showed last week. I have some more to show and tell next week. If I have time, I'm going to keep this book in here and I may read a story next week. So come back and we're going to talk about that galaxy far, far away. So thank you to everyone who has been in here live. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Everyone, if you are watching the replay, let me know in the comments and that you were watching. If you're watching this and you are not subscribed, I would humbly invite you to consider subscribing. Always love making new friends and having you join the channel. And so with that, you all have a gobbletastic day. Go visit my friends, the Hitchhiking Bones. They will be live here at the top of the hour with Hitchhiker Chat. I think they're talking about some of the Halloween, halfway to Halloween announcements that just came out from Disney, like I think today or yesterday. So hot off the presses, like a pumpkin pie, they're going to talk about Halloween stuff. So go over there, tell them I said gobble, gobble. So until next time, have a gobble-tastic night. Take care, and I'll see you.